Hello. Hold up, down a little bit. Hello. Welcome, welcome, anyone who's here. I'm just getting a few things set up, and we'll be ready to go. How is my audio? You guys hear me okay? Let's see. Whoop whoop. Hello, hello. Hey, yeah. I hit the 1K yesterday. Some of those might be holdover from when I did reviews and stuff, but what's up, Tactical Nerd? Electro Kraken. Hey guys. How's my audio? Good to hear. All right. Give me a second. Huh? Nice. Hello. Face might be a little off because I had to move the camera down because today I'm gonna be doing give me one second. Alright, so today we're going to be continuing work on the RPG, working out for the example project for Super RPG Framework, but I'm going to be doing an art stream, where I try to come up with a story and some characters, and primarily trying to work out the structure of the game. Because, obviously, this needs to be something that's relatively small, one, so I can get it done in time, and two, so that it can be manageable for anyone who's using Super RPG Framework, so they can kind of get into it and understand the ins and outs of how it works. So, I'm still, as you can see, trying to work on getting a chat up there in the corner. So, let me see about. Oh, my face is stuck. Oh boy. I will have to probably keep chat off for right now, but move off to the side. Face is probably going all over the place. Let's see. Okay. So, we got a couple people in. So, alright, first things first. So, I've been throwing around a lot of ideas of what to do for the oh, pardon, my pen broke off. 1 second. Whatever, I'll find it later. So, I've been throwing around, a lot of ideas for what exactly to do for the story of the game, and one of the first things to figure out is the structure, how to design kind of the experience for the player. So, and one thing I've decided on is there's a specific RPG structure that I for RPG stories that I really like, and I don't know if there's a specific name for it, but it's a kind of a 3-act structure, and essentially, so basically the way it works is it's you split it into the game generally into three acts, and typically he'll have a prologue as well. And basically the idea is that Act 1 you kind of you introduce and set everything up, and in Act 2 we kind of expand stuff out and give more freedom to the player. Then at the end of Act 2 there's some kind of dramatic turn of events. And then we get into Act 3, where things are maybe a little bit linear for a while, and then we open up again, and you go to the when you're done doing whatever you want, you can go and do the final boss, final dungeon area. Let me move this off to the side. Oop, oop. So I'm having a lot of trouble on the other screen. Can it be about a jellyfish? I don't know. I'm trying to going. This is the thing, is I kind of have to go, or I don't have to. I'm wanting to go for something a little more traditional in that sense. Maybe you could have like a jellyfish party member, well, I guess I'll finish explaining. So here's kind of what I'm thinking for the structure of the game. Is you start out with the, this will be really small, but so pardon my awful handwriting. We have the prologue, which usually will be like one, level or something. It'll kind of introduce the as a prologue does. You introduce the story. Maybe typically it'll like take place not necessarily with our main characters, but with other important characters. Maybe it'll take place in the past. In some cases, maybe it'll be an in medias res, like a flash forward. But then you go to the actual first. You go to the Act 1, and in Act 1, you go ahead and you have I'm turning these down just a little bit. In Act 1, you typically you'd have the inciting incident, which would be kind of the first thing that happens. Maybe the character's at a village, or they're a knight in a castle, or something like that, and then something happens that shifts things, and then that's kind of the first mission or first level, and then you proceed on to the second kind of area dungeon, where you'll leave your starting area, you'll go out into the field or the overworld or whatever, and you'll kind of progress along a little more until you go to the next location you need to be. And then you'll basically repeat this, go to point, event happens, and go to next point, event happens, until you get to the end of Act 1. And then at the end of Act 1, you kind of have gotten several of your, you'll typically have, if this is like a JRPG, you'll have a full party, and things will kind of, and then the something happens in the overarching plot starts, like you get an idea of what it is, what you need to do, and things start getting set in motion. And that's kind of where Act 1 ends. Then after that, you get into Act 2, and this is where you get a lot more freedom. If you've played older BioWare games like Knights of the Old Republic, and I believe Mass Effect 2 Mass Effect 1 kind of does this, though it sort of combines Act 1 and the prologue together. But or if you played like Trails of Cold Steel 2, fantastic game, it does a similar thing where you get to the end of Act 1, then you get into Act 2, and the game opens up. You'll get a ship or something, and you can start going around and exploring the world. So like it's pretty linear Act 1, then Act 2 you open up, right? And you can go and do all sorts of things, and maybe you'll do them in a linear order, like you have to do something one after the other. Or in Knights of the Old Republic, say, you get to do things more up to your own choice. In Knights of the Old Republic, for example, you get the 4 planets. You can choose whichever order to tackle them in. I think some Zelda games have done this as well. And then once you complete all 4, you'll move on to the final part of the game. Now, so there's essentially 2 ways that I can go about this. Is more open and more closed, but essentially things open up more here, so you have more freedom in Act 2. Then at some point, either right at the end of Act 2 or maybe in the middle of Act 2, and sometimes both, things will bottleneck. Something will happen in the story. There's a shift in events, and things become a little linear as you do one major story. And maybe there's a twist here, a plot twist, or some big development, and things take a turn of some kind. And then you'll return to the freedom for maybe just a little bit more, or if it's at the end, for no more. And then once you're done with that, you'll get the kind of the final piece of whatever puzzle you're putting together, whatever you've been doing throughout this Act 2. And that'll bring you to the end of Act 2, where there's some turn of events, and then we're into Act 3. And obviously this is, it's the final part of the game. And Act 3 would start out a little bit more linear. Maybe common thing is like you'll separate the party, and you have to meet up with them, and you maybe get some more lore and backstory. But it starts off more linear, and then it continues along. And eventually, maybe you'll get your ship back, or whatever. But things will then open up again one final time. And usually when it opens up this time, you don't have anything else you need to do. You're just given a bunch of optional stuff, or you can go right into the final dungeon, final boss. But essentially, you have a bunch of optional stuff here. And if the developer's feeling really savvy, what you do in this section will determine what ending you get. Say, like, how many stuff you do in this section. Then anyway, after you decide, okay, I'm done here, I want to go do the final boss. Then you do that, and you get the final dungeon, final boss, and then the ending, or multiple endings if you so choose. Some examples of games that I mean, this can be fairly flexible, but some examples, like I said, Knights of the Old Republic does this, where you have Act 1, where you're on the terrace, and then Dantooine, then you get your ship, and you go looking for the Starforge in Act 2, and in Act 3, you find it, and you resolve the story. Something like Chrono Trigger, which is a lot of Act 1, I would say. And Act 1 would probably be up when you get introduced to the characters, you learn about the time travel, and then maybe the end of Act 1 would be like when you reach the end of time. And you learn more about you've learned more about Lavos, and now you can travel to all the different locations in time, and then you'll do that until you get up to well, I don't want to spoil for anyone who's maybe not played Chrono Trigger, though I assume most of you have. But after that point, so this would be kind of where you're going through time, then you'll get to a point where, let's say, you go to a new location that's really important to the story, and that's when it kind of closes up, and then a bunch of things change in the plot. There's a bunch of developments, a bunch of twists and turns, and then it goes linear for a bit right here, and then eventually you'll get your ship, the Epoch, and at that point you're basically, if I'm remembering this correctly, maybe you get the Epoch earlier, I don't actually remember, but the point is, at that point then you get the Epoch, and you can go to any point in time, you can do anything else you want to, and at any point when you're ready, you can, from that point on, which should be about here, you can go and fight the final boss, Lavos. But there's so many other things you can do, and yeah, so it was a pretty tried and true structure. It's what I think I'm going to stick with. To keep this in a manageable size, what I'd probably do is I'd have a first, because I like to think of a typical RPG or JRPG loop, right? Is town or field town dungeons, sort of, where you're in the field, either in overworld in like old Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest games, or in something like Xenoblade, a special field for whatever area you're in. Then you'll get to a town, and you'll get more information about the story, the quest, what you need to do. Then you'll go from the field. Then you'll go back into the field typically, or maybe you'll just go right to a dungeon. And so you're in the field, then you get to the town, get the information, you go to a dungeon, you complete the dungeon, then you go to the field and go to the next town, the next location. So I kind of think of that as the typical loop, and so you can sort of measure the length of a JRPG, I guess, in terms of how many dungeons you have. It's not a perfect science, obviously, but so that's kind of what I'm thinking. Is I'd have let's say we'd have one dungeon in the prologue, and again, I'm trying to keep the total playtime of this in the 5-hour range, something relatively small. So maybe you'd have one dungeon in the prologue, and Act 2 would probably be a good number. Well, you'd have one at least at the start. I think 3. 3 is a nice number. 3 is a very nice number, actually. It's really good for breaking stuff down. Obviously, you have the 3-act structure, and then you can break those down into the 3 parts as well. But it's many things you can do. So we'll say, we'll say instead of a 2 here, we'll get 2 kind of story events, or you'll have, I think that works well. And we'll say maybe you complete that, and then you'll go on to Act 2, and maybe you'll have 3 to 4 dungeons and story events, and then we'll go into this section, which is kind of actually what it would be. You'd complete 3 here, sorry. So you'd have 3 dungeons there, 1 here, and then these would also be a shorter dungeon each. So this one would be a total of 3, 4, 6. 1, 3, 6, and then this would probably be a bunch of optional stuff. So I don't know how much of that I don't know what I do for that. Maybe super optionals and stuff. But this would probably be 1, 2, 3. So this would probably be 3. So I'd say, let's say for this this game, this RPG, we'll need 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 dungeons. So that seems like a okay number. It's more a case of how much am I going to be able to get done, you know. So that's generally the point. Is this is probably the structure I'm going to go for, because on top of just being a fun game on its own, this needs to work as a way of showing how versatile the RPG framework is, because that's ultimately what this is for. Is it's a example project for the RPG framework to show, hey, here's all the stuff you can do with it. It's very flexible, and you can use it for to do similar things in your own project. So let's see. Give me 1 second. Nice. So, with that out of the way, that kind of general structure idea out of the way, it's time to come up with some freaking story ideas. Settings first thing. Obviously, there's a ton of different options for what could be done with the setting of the story. Hang on, I lost my chat. There we go. Could do modern day. Could do sci-fi. Could do fantasy. I'm personally kind of partial to the fantasy with a bit of sci-fi elements in it. That's kind of my favorite style. But oh, I gotta check on something. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not sure what I kind of want to do yet. I will probably just start designing some characters, because that's how I like to start. So, how about first we'll head over to ArtStation, why don't we? ArtStation, I think, is a pretty ArtStation and Pinterest are like good ways of finding kind of art or references for art. I especially like ArtStation because a lot of the stuff there is more professional. So all right, we'll say, I think I'll stick with some traditional fantasy stuff for right now. We'll just see how it turns out. Fantasy, oops, fantasy character designs. Let's get a Pinterest as well. Never have too many references. Must admit, I'm a bit biased towards the stuff that's to the anime side of things, so I might be. Oh, I better pop this away from here at the moment. That was close. Alrighty. What's like the symbol? JRPG character design. Good music. Yeah, I think I've said this before. My go-to music for these kind of streams and stuff is Falcom and their Nihon Falcom's games, because of their wonderful like public use music license. You really basically just let you use their music for anything as long as it's not like commercial and they're credited. So it's really nice of them. JRPG character design. We don't want to just rip people's stuff off. I also don't want to do stuff too generic. Yeah, this is more along the lines of stuff I like and stuff I prefer to go for. This sort of there's some color in it, some style, but it's got a bit of a grainy look to it, a bit of a gritty look to it, but not too much. So what do we say? Some Fire Emblem. Let's start with we'll start with a male and a female lead. I think that's a good place to kick it off. Let's see. Oh, I like that guy. That's a feller. Oh, this is Terra Battle. I miss Terra Battle, man. I think both the games got shut. Oops. I got shut. Both of them got shut down, which is a shame because actually go forward. I saw character design there I really liked. How do I get to this? I haven't used this in a while. Music is good too. Oh, I lost it. Dang it. It was a really nice character design here that I saw that I liked. Whatever. Let's go get some references. Pop this up. Same again. Ooh, I like it, kind of like that. I don't know if I want to. I'll say that for later. Overlapping a little bit. Let's get rid of that. Is that a woman? I can't tell. Alright, I think that's good enough for now, as far as references go. Shoot these guys down so I have some room. All right. Start with a male lead. So, I think we need someone who is a bit of a man, bit of a man's man. How does that sound? Not necessarily quite a Geralt or a super over-the-top macho character, but someone's a bit of a gotta get rid of a gruff look to them. Action going. What's a good story for this game? Well, let's work on them a little more. Maybe the story will come too. Alright. He's got a bit of a pose to him already, kind of a slightly casual there. I'm getting the vibe of someone who's got some experience, but is a bit laid back. Maybe doesn't, not that he doesn't take things too seriously, but he doesn't necessarily. He's not someone who's necessarily super easily phased. So let's go with that. Look at these guys a bit. These guys look a bit like they're... Actually, there's a nice range of... Oop, oop, oop. Oh, no. I think I got a frozen Photoshop. Oh. 1 second. Ah, shoot. Alright, give me a second. I think we have an issue. Photoshop just stuck on me. Alright. Thumbnails, I don't want that. 1 second. Oop, my chat disappeared. Let's get that back up here. Just gotta drop this in a folder so I can restart Photoshop. Ah. Society is a cruel mistress. And that's saved. We'll get out of there. Get back in. I'm gonna grab a protein bar while I'm waiting. Gotta get that protein, fellers. Eat enough protein. Most people don't. Okay. Hot Photoshop. Why isn't it loading? There we go. How? There we go. All right. Pop these designs up on the top screen. Wait. Back to my boy. Alrighty. Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, you look at these fellers, they got a nice range of expressions. This guy looks very serious, like... Looks like you got this guy. Very serious, looking like a man on a mission. The guy obviously a lot more casual, laid back, though he clearly armored up. He is ready for action, so... you also got this guy, who's a bit more... I don't want to say boring. He looks more like he's just... I don't know. I don't see a ton you can draw from this expression alone. But he definitely is someone who's prepared, yeah, for sure. So... I'm kind of leaning more towards this, but maybe kind of like a mix between these two. Just from this bit alone, I don't quite get the expression that this feller here, our dude, would kind of give this sort of look. You know, he seems a bit too overly stoic for what I think a fella would go for. So let's give him something very simple. Change that to references. Nope. Get out of here, layer style. Male MC. A bit more of There we go. All right. Chisel his jaw a bit, why don't we? necessarily want to make him angry, but more just relaxed and kind of focused. Was that an oxymoron? I don't think so. Bit narrow in the eyes, maybe? My first thought is maybe something that's a mix of like a little bit of a Geralt of Rivia, a little bit, but maybe something more along the lines of like a Yuri Lol, if any of you have played Tales of Vesperia. Maybe not quite as much of a jokester as or a smack talker as Yuri Lol, but definitely, you know, but he's not fresh blood. He's not quite your wide-eyed, naive Luke Skywalker protagonist type. He's a little bit of experience, but he's still got room to grow for sure. Maybe mid-20s, maybe mid to late 20s. Probably not, probably 30 at the most. Bit of a curved jaw there. Flatten his head out up top. Flatten it out more. Give him more of a neck there. I feel like he's a bit scrumptious? I don't know, like his face is pushed out a little bit. See, hair like that, that's very, feels very professional. So maybe something a bit more hanging in front, like he's got more of a freelancer type, more of a, not necessarily like a knight or a part of any, a little more casual. There we go, that's the word for it. Give him some facial hair. Show he's a little bit of a man, of a feller. A little bit of a experienced scruff feller. There, his super narrow eyes there, but I'm not sure if the face quite matches with his what would you call that? Not profile, his stance though. Maybe give him a little bit of a smile. Kind of see how that looks. a bit more soft, a bit more tired though. Widen his eyes a little bit, we'll see what happens. I think that fits a little better. Now we just decided what his arms are doing. Which means we need to decide on a weapon for him. Good weapon ideas at all. Over here. I kind of like these designs on these swords, so these are kind of some similarities. Sword's kind of pretty traditional, though. I think something a little more interesting. Let's see. So that's maybe too much now. I know what's a good weapon. What's a good weapon for us? I like this. Oh. What we do with the arms, let's decide that first. That's gonna definitely affect how his character comes off. He can just kind of be hanging down, a bit more casual like. Arm is on it. What if it's like a bit more relaxed? Get rid of that thing. Relaxed like that. I kind of like that. I kind of like that look. Definitely don't want to have the arm hanging down then, though. We can do sort of have it in a sort of a grip pose. I don't know. What do we think of this? I don't know. Any thoughts? If anyone's still in the chat? I'm thinking two ways. Let's cut that out and do the other way as well. Maybe get some other feedback. Heck, there we go. What on earth? There we go. Let's get some feedback from some people. Oops. throw this in the Discord server or two and see what people think. Yeah, so, if anyone's in the chat, head's kind of going over the place. I'm kind of planning for these streams to be fairly informal and more just me streaming my workday. So, from here on out. So, yeah, it may just be, thanks. Free 3D channel. Thank you. Yeah, I'm kind of, if you have any input, I'd love to hear it. I'm kind of trying to decide on, the pose I want for this guy. He's be one of, either, if not the, one of the mainly, leads in the game, in the RPG that I'm working on. Second one? I'm kind of leaning towards the second one. I'm gonna post it in a couple of servers. See if I can get some other feedback. But yeah, like I was saying, these will be fairly informal. These streams, just kind of, they'll be me as I'm working. Just think of them as me streaming my work day. But that'll be the idea. See, what do I say? Working on designing. All right. Post this in my own server as well. You agree right version is better? Yeah, I mean, I'm the thing I'm wondering is I think with this pose, this one does look better. I guess I'm wondering if this one could, if it's just the fact that the way he has the sword, and if this I think I'll probably go for this one for now, but I'll let it sit for a bit, get some feedback. So for now, we'll design his costume a bit. Why not? Outfits. So I think from this, he's a bit, I guess that hair and stuff, he's a bit more casual. So he's not necessarily, wouldn't be part of like the military or anything. Probably a bit of like maybe a mercenary, or maybe just a normie who's got a normie appreciating his fantasy equivalent of Second Amendment rights. He's swinging that big old sword around. I don't know, but so yeah, something a bit more casual with just light bits of armor. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I do like this coat. Oh, hang on. I like this coat right here that this guy has, but I also feel it's a bit if not try hard, it does feel a bit generic or a bit traditional. Look at me, I'm a cool guy, with the flaps and stuff. This seems a little more practical. Yeah, this feels a little more like someone who tried to show off to me, and that does fit with this character, I suppose. But that looks comfy, that fur stuff. But so this guy definitely has some concern about fashion, and hence why he has the fur. But this guy does too. He's got the rose there. I think I kind of like this guy, the look of this feller. Maybe just with, like I said, a tad of that. But this is kind of a nice basis for him going. So light coat and armor. But something sleeveless. Let him show off his muscles a little bit. I think that works all right. His hand looks better if it his hand looks better if it along his sword. What do you mean, like this? Like if do you mean like if his right hand was kind of like hanging? This isn't a great, but like hanging along the sword like that, or on its hip. What do you mean by that for each channel? I'm a little confused. Anyway. Alright. Let's get some muscle references up. Big old bulging muscle right there. I forget what the names of the muscles are off the top of my head. Triceps and biceps, but I don't remember which one's which. I should leave this hand alone before I decide, but look in the Discord, it does seem like I'm getting some more. Once I post it in, get more feedback towards, yeah, this pose, so I'll probably go with. I think I'll stick with this unless I get enough stuff otherwise, but. Don't want to show off his torso too much, but maybe something belted up right here. Why not? Don't just do it right there. Would he have stuff? I think he'd have stuff here, like just gadgets and whatnot. Yeah, it's very. I don't really like. I don't really like that look. Let's give him a belt first of all, just a standard belt. I feel like he'd carry a sword like this on his back, not on his side, just because of the size of it. So maybe we'll give him something to hold it in the back. Where do you draw that from? Held it in the right hand, I feel like it'd be the other way, wouldn't it? That's about much. Hide it a little more. One is. Who dat? Who buzzing me? That's just Duolingo. Yeah, I know. Gotta study Japanese later. Need to get Spanish at some point too. I feel like this kind of makes his pose look weird though. Looks like he's thrusting his hips out. Well, this looks more like it's kind of going this way and then it goes up this way. So you need to do something that's more like that. Like it's just tilted to the side slightly at the hips. The crotch area, obviously. Specify where that is. Which means if so, that here's the break point. Look at some more Terra Battle references, or just references in general. Ooh, that's a better one. This one's a little bit better for that guy there. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. Should I give him some stuff to like cover up? I don't really. I'm not sure I really like that look, but could it just be because there's no clothing up top? I don't know. I'll give him some boots for now. Just try to work on giving him full outfit and can add details to it later. Definitely need to clean that up a bit. So. Pants are a little baggy or rolled up. Why not? Can relate to that. I've had some people complain about how I sometimes stick with more baggier pants, but they're comfortable, easier to move around in, and I kind of like that actually. Definitely feels like his hip's sticking out a bit too much here, though. This will be fine. We'll look fine for now. What we will do, though, maybe a little pocket knife or something. He seems short. Nah, I think he's alright. It says tall boots, that's all. Now for the coat or whatever. I've already closed his arms to show off his muscles a little bit. The question is, if I give him some kind of coat thing, do I put it underneath the belt or over the belt? I do like that necklace thing. I don't want to rip off this singular guy too much. So we'll pop him out for a bit. I do like this fur coat thing right here, though. This is nice. So I think I'm gonna go with something like that. Which means I'll probably have to spread that out a little bit. Clear this here? Yeah, we'll need to. Not like that though. Maybe just fur. Kind of a furry mane sort of thing. Ooh, a lion motif. I think that would look nice on this guy. King of the jungle sort of thing. Yeah. Question is he a king of the jungle? Is he a lion or is he a wannabe lion? You know, what's his personality? That could be very good. Well, we'll stick with that for now. I do like that. Merge some of these together. Hearing it'll be a stronger silhouette if I lift the arm he's holding with a sword. Yeah, let me try that. See what happens. Oh, I can kind of see it, yeah. Oh, you know what this kind of gives the impression of, though? It's a gun blade. Not just a sword, but specifically... yeah. Oh, now, well, the problem is I don't want him... Oh, I just realized if I give him the fur coat and the gunblade stuff, we might look a little too squally and hardy. But the personality would be very different. So... I'm going to pull up some pictures of Squall just to make sure it's not too close. Squallian heart. Not fan art. We don't have fan art. Fan art's good, but it's not what I'm after. Shit a little bit there. All right. Give him some gloves. Why not? I don't like how suddenly tiny his arm right here is, though. Whatever. I think I'm gonna go with the undercoat cloak. I like that looking more. If I can get it right, though, I want to get it right. Let's give it a little bit of a silhouette, see how it turns out. It definitely looks more like a rifle of some kind than just a sword, at least to me. Yeah, I kind of like that silhouette. He's a little bit older than I was going for at the moment, though, so maybe we'll soften up that jaw slightly. Let's curve this handle. I think a curved handle works better for a gun blade type of thing, only to give it some sort of trigger too. Oh, that wouldn't work though, because you want to. Yeah, you need the bend on the. Sharp side would have to be here, so the barrel would be here. Should give him some sort of grip though, so he doesn't just hold this with one hand. But I don't think you'd see that. Oh, I've kind of cut off the belt here, but maybe the belt is a part of the gun itself. How about that? Nah. I'll just have the belt on. Kind of like the idea of the fur going all the way down his coat too. I think that's pretty good. For general overall pose, is there anything I want to add to him? Definitely bump up this hand, it's way too tiny. Should we give him earrings, piercings? Alright, I kind of like where that's at. It's an overall kind of design silhouette thing. I think that's quite good. Definitely shrink his arm up a little bit. It's still kind of long. Ooh. Now let's fade that, maybe define it a little more. Look at these guys for reference. Any designs I like? I like that rose in that thing. It was much more soldier-like. Here's what we'll do. Look at some Rose references. Okay. It's 3 o'clock already. Hot dang. At least it is where I am. I guess it kind of gives away my time zone, but oh well. It's a big time zone anyway. Maybe I'll go. How long? Hour 12? We'll see how long I can go. At least till 5. Probably need to get food at 5. Yeah, that's some jam. What is this? I think this is all Nyata no Kisuki. So it's that Trails game that isn't really a Trails game. And where is it? I'm halfway through it. Definitely want to give him some more hair there. Hair, my favorite part. Head is like broken. Definitely should give him more of an outline, I think. Some of these are going to be stronger lines, yeah. The belt holder right here. Oop. Chat disappeared again. Oh yeah, by the way, while he's here, everyone go subscribe to Chase for Boy. Name aside, he actually is the guy who edited the video I just released the other day, the game dev meme review. And he edited a video. I think he did a great job, amazing job. I was really happy with how it turned out. So I don't necessarily endorse all his opinions, but I definitely endorse him as a content creator. He's a very funny, very entertaining dude, and he's helped me out a lot. So Chase for Boy, you see him in the chat there. Go give him a subscribble. And if, by the way, Chase, if you got any wonderful advice on how embarrassingly awful my art is, please do not hesitate to share. Definitely gonna cut that over a bit. There we go. Ooh, neck. I like thick lines for some reason. I like they provide a bit of like a depth or a I don't know. Some about them, I prefer them over like thin lines when I'm drawing. Even though I know they definitely can make things look really nasty if misused. I think this guy needs fingerless gloves. Those are practical. Give you the grip of the fingers, but also don't chafe your hand. It's kind of nice how, especially in like fantasy stuff, fingerless gloves, they look really cool, but they're also very practical in a lot of ways, unless you're in like a winter setting. Which I feel like, yeah, especially in JRPGs and stuff, in anime, practicality and stuff that looks cool usually, yeah, it's not the same thing, but fingerless gloves, it kind of is. They're very practical to use. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I genuinely agree, Chase, that like it's specifically where stuff overlaps that the thicker lines work better. I need to get better at varying up my line, the different lines I use, but because yeah, it does a better job at creating that depth, simulates like ambient occlusion essentially. And especially on the outlines of a character. Oh, please. I'm not nearly this attractive. Which I realized saying that, I'm... It was an attempt to denigrate myself, but I guess I kind of patted myself on the back as far as my art skills go. Well, tell me, Chase, would you play a game with this as one of the protagonists? Hey, hurry, finish up this guy so I can get on to female lead. And I need to still come up with ideas for the story, too. Well, just from this guy... Ooh, what do we got? Okay, first thought. I'm thinking maybe former soldier, right? Used to fighting war. Maybe he was younger. There was a big old war. Here we go. Big old war in the past. And a bunch of young people got drafted, got conscripted. And so he fought in the war. He survived. Maybe he was very young, like even in his teens at a time, and so it's been some time since then, and so he's got a bit of experience, but he had that experience when he was already pretty young. So at this point in time, well, he's still very young. It's only been about 10 or so years, so he's still between like 25 to 30, so he's not that old. But he definitely understands the ways of the world, understands some of the more harsh realities of the world better than, say, a lot of people, many other people his age. So he knows he's a bit more comfortable kind of just doing his own thing. He's kind of paid his debt to society in the war, kind of as he sees it, and so he's more just not out for himself in a selfish way, but more just he's not out to prove himself to anyone, but at that point, it's like, so what's some, it looks like the Mendor dies in the first half. Definitely I can see that. It's kind of not really the vibe I'm going for, but maybe that could work. The character who's usually the mentor, it looks like the mentor figure. That's something I've kind of wondered about a lot, is like, what would a protagonist of a story look like if it's basically the Obi-Wan or Dumbledore or like the old wise mentor character, but as a in their younger days. And I guess that we've seen that before. We see that in the not so great recent Fantastic Beasts movie. We also see that in the Star Wars prequels and stuff. So maybe that could be what this is. This is a guy who would eventually become like an old mentor figure, but now he's too young of a boy. Maybe it turns out like Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones goes off. He's in World War I. Then goes back, becomes a professor and an archaeologist, and fights Nazis and stuff in World War II. Fantasy Indiana Jones, maybe. How does he look with a big old hat? I don't know, mate. I'm gonna wrap this guy up here, and it won't be the final art, but it'll be good for now, and then I'll move on to a lovely lady. Get some true gender equality here, you know. Want to make hot guys, you have to make hot girls too. That's how it works. I'm kind of just quickly sketching this out. So it's not great, but I think that's good for now. I should probably throw in a bit of color first, right? It's a nice color scheme. Some greens and stuff here. I don't see him being very... I think like a teal or a turquoise sort of thing works. Because I don't see him being very fiery or lively and cool. Not the man, this guy's cool sense, but you know, more calm. Darken his skin a little bit. He's been out in the sun, so he'd be a little tanned. What the heck? Why is this not as dark as I want it to be? No skin showing? Nope. Alright. Turquoisey color for his coat. Dang! Hot dang! What is going on? Oh, I know what's going on. That's what's going on. I needed that. You need to increase the opacity. Blue. Yeah, it's good. A little muted though. I tend to like a little more desaturated, not super desaturated, but colors that aren't ridiculously saturated, ridiculously high contrast. So it's more my thing. Oh boy, he has a big old torso there. You know, that's good for now, I think. This isn't meant to be final art anyway. So. Boop. Belt. Maybe give him more of a reddish brown for the belt. That's good. I like that color. Maybe darker though. Carve this out of it. Oop. Cut that out. Oh, let's give him a gem, a nice bright color. Yeah, I like that. Now, hair color time. I think it looks darker, something darker. Oop, oop. Too much, too much. Darker blue. Enough of a contrast with the loops. And we can metal up his belt pieces. Rose is last. Hopefully it's not too much of a clone of this fella. I think it works enough on its own. Definitely a bit Santa Clausy though. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? Oops. You wanna cut down there. How does that look better? Or, yeah. I'm not a fan of the Santa Clausy look. Yeah, we'll stick to this. Cut out the fur parts there. Or maybe just on the bottom. Alright. There's our Mr. Man. I think he's a keeper, at least for right now. Which means it's time for some gender equality. What do you guys say? Get some female references now. Frenched first. It's a bit of a pose in though. Yes, let's think. So our main dude here, he was a bit of a warrior looking class, so be more of a tank and damage person. Maybe someone who's more magic and ranged. I think what would be a good alternative. Because he's a bit more relaxed. We'll do someone who's a bit more posed and ready for action immediately. How about that? How about that? Oops. Hmm. Not spread out enough though. Hmm. My face is freaking out because my hand was over it. Ah! Ooh, I just saw a design I like. I'm looking at a lot of designs at the moment, just on my upper screen, which is why my head is broken. But I'll show the artist as well. Do I follow this person? I do. What am I like that. I mean, first thought is, wait, she has an eye patch, but her eye works or not? I don't know. But I like this piratey kind of look to it. Dang. All right. What about this? So it looks like a tonfa and a gun. I don't know. Her arm's a bit long though. I'm looking for two of them. A dual wielder. How about that? All right. I like the start. Scarf. Give her a big old scarf. Kind of like that idea. Hip's too small though. Gotta fix that. too similar though. Man, look at those legs. Oof. I'm not exactly the best at drawing legs. I'm really out of practice. So things may look a bit weird. Oh, I got an idea. Hello, Ganymede. You don't remember subscribing to my channel? What? Well, I'm glad you're here. It's nice to have you. If you don't know what I do, I'm a game developer, virtual game developer. So right now I am drawing, basically doing character designs for an example project for a toolkit that an RPG toolkit that I'm developing for Unreal Engine 4. So essentially what I'm working on right now. I'm just doing some character designs for that. Ooh, okay, the other guy's got a bit of a what would you say, this sort of, it's a bit Viking-like, a bit, not, I mean, European, definitely, but, like northeastern European, kind of is, maybe I'm getting that wrong, but, I don't know, so maybe someone a bit more oriental, a little more Asian, might work for a female lead. I say female lead, I don't know yet. Ooh, maybe a kunoichi. Ninja-like. Yeah, I like that. With guns. Ninja with guns. That's fine. Oops. Also just shot me a little bit with the issue with the leg there. We got our knee there. I think that works. Alright, let me look up. Ooh. Cut a bit in the cloth there, why not? I like that. I like where that's going. Float the ball float would be right on there. Arms. And head, of course. Hmm. For some reason, I really want her to have an eye patch. Don't know why. I drew another character like that on my, for my Twitter a little while back. I don't know why, but I think I'm going to give her an eye patch. Second. Oop, oop. First, we'll draw out where her eyes should be. How's that look from this one? You give her brows too. Distance, how does that look? Ah, okay, that is way off. Tiny head and these ridiculous legs. Let's fix that up. She's a bit too broad-shouldered too. Definitely too broad-shouldered. Yeah, another thing with being out of practice is you tend to draw the gender that you are not as good, which you haven't been studying in much time. That was English. So. Look at that leg. Look how masculine that leg is. I'd rather not just go staring at female legs for a long time, but that's what you do when you're an artist, I guess. That sounded mighty... You know what? Never mind. I meant to say I would love staring at female legs, but I have responsibilities, so usually I can't. Did that sound better or worse? I don't know, and I don't care. Whatever, we'll go for that for now. A little bit of a lip there. And this eye patch. Oh, maybe give her some scarring underneath. Maybe she didn't lose her eye naturally, but it's some sort of like magical thing that causes her eye to be like screwed up. Seems no smaller. Eye bigger too. Yeah, that's the biggest thing this stream is doing, is it's making me realize just how to practice I am as far as drawing goes, man. It's pretty much most of my days consist of I get up, I start working in Unreal, and then I work for hours and only break then for lunch and dinner. And then when I'm done, maybe I'll relax for a little bit and then head to bed. That is, well, Unreal, except for the days that I'm working on other projects for studios. So. Don't get a lot of chance to just sit down and draw. I think, yeah, we'll do her and then finish her up and then call it for today. We need to come up with some story ideas. Well, I think just based off this, we got a backstory a bit. There's a war, maybe a big old war that happens at some point. Lots of young people ended up being conscripted, and now time has passed, so a lot of people maybe don't know what to do with themselves, and we'll see. Ooh, I'm noticing this now. I'm noticing. It's one thing about drawing too. Is sometimes you draw stuff you don't mean to, and you will create the story out of it. I didn't mean to cover up her ear here, but I guess I kind of did. So maybe it's the scarrings on the whole right side of her face, not just her eye. Yeah. Some flair to her gloves or whatever. A little bit, maybe. There we go, nice little curve to it. It's better. It's better. Legs aren't looking so bad right now. They good to her hands though. Maybe they cover up so her hands would like go right in here. And just go around here. Oh, I wanted them to kind of, go under and be like blades. Combination of Tonfa and there we go, that's better. Yeah, I definitely get what Jace is meaning about using the lines here, because to create more definition between. So like outer lines would show, hey, that's something that there's depth in here, you know. While thinner lines would show something else. Got a gun here, maybe a pistol-like. I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. I need to finish up on that part. There we go. What about our legs? Well, you want to blend in somewhat if you're ninja-like, so like most of her body dark. We'll leave a little bit there, a little bit of fan service. We like attractive characters as much as we like practical characters, so maybe give it a bit of both. Boy, oh boy, let's get some stuff for the feet though. Padded boots, maybe. I'm definitely starting to run out of some steam here with her design. That's okay. I'm about finished up anyway, I think. That scarf is definitely bigger than I wanted it to be. Let's make it smaller. Should figure out this part of her body first, and then... I had some reference here that I really liked. I gotta find it again. There we go. Just a little bit. Not too much. Not too much. I think that's good. It's not too broad shoulder, I don't think. It comes down right here, nice neck. Now we'll give her that scarf. But we should actually figure out how this works on her body. There, I like that, and throw a scarf around her. Oh, maybe that might be good too. Might be impractical. There's something on her arms, like something like that. Yeah. Maybe we'll sleeve up the arms though a bit too. Scarf. That's what I wanted. Getting some Navigavi art here. Love Navigavi's art. There. Yeah, I think that'll do for now. Quick stuff. As far as that goes. Not super happy with it, but it'll work. And now hair. Might be one of the last things. Let's get a shape. A shape I like. Covering the side of her head with the eye patch, maybe not wanting to show it off a bit. Slightly insecure about it, maybe? Unhappy with it? Not so much a scar of pride, so much as it is something she's, I don't know, maybe ashamed of, or maybe just doesn't want, embarrassed about, doesn't want people to know about, understandably. Maybe it's the reason for the scar being the way it is why she doesn't want people to see it. So she covers it up. Not necessarily entirely. She knows she can't fully cover it up, but she does what she can. I think the hair shape I like. Oh. I don't really like that. Maybe ponytail could look good though. Alright, well, let's do the hair properly. We'll get the back side of it first. Definitely would have some hair loss here with the way her face is. Yeah, ponytail I think sounds good. Nothing too over the top, maybe? Now for the bangs, though. That maybe? Draw it out, see how it looks. See how it looks with the proper lines. Oh, I got some more people. Okay. Hello. Something about this hair just isn't quite working with me for me. I can always come back to it later, but oh, you know what I'm thinking would oh no, not that. Should have a bit of the Judith. Is it Judith or Judy from Cyberpunk? I forget, but sort of that hair part where it's kind of shaved in the middle, because she's lost hair on this most of the side of her face. She's like, well, what do I do with it? Especially if you want to cover it up, you probably have this fringe that kind of covered up this whole side. So let's try that. Don't necessarily want to have it. Don't want her to have it shaved on the other side, but maybe it's just the angle. The angle's hard to get a very good ponytail out here, maybe. Hey, actually, I think that looks all right. Something like that. All right, let's try it. Let's try it. Ooh. Hang on, let me look up Yuffie, FF7. I think she has something similar to this. Oops. A little bit. All right. Yeah, something like that. I think kind of works. Maybe a little longer though, but to cover up the eye. What is that? Maybe flatten up the hair a little bit. You know what? I definitely need to brush up my skills and practice more, but I kind of like that look. Yeah, personality though. I need to work on that. Well, she's definitely been through some stuff with that scar. I'd like to think so we got war going on, war in the backstory. While he was, maybe neither of them chose to be a part of it. He sort of got conscripted, but did his duty as a soldier and went through stuff. Has come out the other end, changed man. She, on the other hand, was not conscripted. Obviously, she's a woman, but maybe she got caught up in it anyway. And as a result of this war, that's how she lost her eye. So they both have sort of scars on this past event, but they've experienced different sides of them. She's experienced the more how the peaceful side got hit, and he's more was on the front lines of things. So they both have experiences that they've come away from that. Themes. Stuff we could pull out. Things like, even stuff you don't care about or try to ignore. Tragedies in the world or things that happen around you. Maybe you can try to ignore them all you want, but sometimes they'll come for you, and you need to be prepared for that. You can't just always expect other people to solve your problems for you or rely on other people to fix things and just... not anti-pacifism, but you know what I'm saying. Like... And I'm not even saying necessarily stuff I do or do not agree with. It's just themes and ideas to explore. Like, can you really afford to ignore when disaster comes or when catastrophe is coming, and you can do stuff to stop it, because they've both been through a scenario where they didn't choose to fight in this war, but it caught up with them anyway. So, yeah. I think there's a start there. Obviously, don't want to go. We're still trying to keep this game relatively short and simple. It's not necessarily anything too crazy with themes, but just some general ideas to tie stuff all together. Because I do tend to release this game on its own as well. So you can play the game, and then you can play it and be like, oh, I like this. I want to make games like this. I can get the framework and dig into this game and see how it was made. So I think that's a good place. It's a good... we'll stop there for now. Give her some color and then call it a day. Why don't we? All right. Some good color for her, I wonder. Oops. Drop down. Silhouetting, that's right. Maybe. This girl, she had to, after what happened to her, she had to turn to, or ended up turning to a life of a crime, as opposed to him, who's living more of just a laid-back, simple life, But she needs to use this stuff to survive, and I don't know, just ideas throwing out there, Definitely would like to get to a point where I can flesh out her weapons here more. Some type of pirate pistol, but with a blade on the end. Oops. Drop this thing. Actually, I'll just move her. Let's see. He's green, contrast. More of a red colored then. There's some new skin. Do-do-do. this. Oh, we'll give her a lighter hair color. How about that? Something white. Ooh, the thing that affected her. How about this? Whatever cursed her, took out her eye, also affected her hair. Why not? Why not? Although I can't seem to draw anything. There we go. Where's she at? Kind of a light blue. Or we'll start out with something maybe darker. More purplish. Or bird blue, purple blue. And then streaks of the lighter stuff. I guess it, nah, because her hair's burned off, isn't it? Remember? So maybe it's just darker towards the tip. Which means I'll need to crank down the opacity a bit. Oops. Not sure yet how I feel about that hair color. Maybe I'll change it. Oops. For now, though, let's get to some sort of a red. Actually, I think the brighter red for the scarf would be a good color, wouldn't it? And then maybe for these things, let's just throw out some colors for the moment, see what sticks. Maybe, yeah, we'll go. I'm kind of liking where this is going. Maybe that's a lighter. Ooh, nice timing. It sounds like I'm at the end of the soundtrack, too. Yeah, throwing this one definitely I sped run a little bit just because it took me so long to do the other ones. So, but still, I kind of like how it's come out. And you know what? I maybe that white hairish thing can work. I just need to throw some other white in there, though. Not that bright. Definitely more sped run compared to this, unfortunately. Our skin's a bit too yellow, I think. I think that's good. Lighten things up a bit. Oops. Just throwing some more white around. Just because we don't want it to just be her hair. What if it's half light? Or what if it's just... I don't know. Oops. Oops, striped hair. Yeah, okay. I think I know what I want. There. Give him the right color. Ooh, red eyes. Red eyes. I like the matching of the primary colors to the eyes. There we go. All right. Save them out. We got some early character designs for the RPG. And we got a little bit of story stuff as well. Some ideas of a big old war in the past, which is not a lot of to go off of, but the idea is that they've both been caught up in it, and it's over now, and they're now dealing with the aftermath. Bit of fantasy stuff, but you got a bit of a tech, a bit of a magitech stuff going on, maybe with gun blades. Yeah, it's definitely a place to start. So I think that's a good place to. No wonder I bet my camera got whacked. I think it's a good place to wrap up for now. So yeah, I'm gonna keep these on screen till the end, actually. So I think for the next, I'm not sure when my next stream will be. It'll probably be Monday. We'll see how things go and how my other work ends up. But yeah, I think I'm kind of thinking. I don't want to keep saying I think you're doing this because I don't want to make promises I won't keeping. But definitely I'll have a new stream next week. It'll be back to work on the actual RPG. Coming up with probably finishing up the battle system and then building some of the more UI elements now that we have a basis to go off of. Yeah, so I think that's all for now. Thanks anyone who stuck around and watched till the end. I had a lot of fun doing this, and yeah, I'll see you next time. So long, guys.